Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care. The sun shimmered over the lush landscape of Elanthar, the home planet of Princess Lena. Towering crystal spires pierced the azure skies, and cascading waterfalls danced across vibrant flora, casting rainbows across the valley. Lena, graceful and spirited, stood at the balcony of the ivory palace, her long silver hair whipping gently in the breeze. She watched her people below, celebrating the annual festival, an event dedicated to peace and unity among the galaxy's diverse realms. Yet, beneath the surface of jubilation, tension brewed. Whispers of the evil Zarok species, known for their savage conquests, loomed like a dark cloud. Lena felt a stirring in her heart, a desire for adventure, to venture beyond the gilded walls of her life. In her mind, she envisioned a world filled with wonder, unknown challenges waiting to unfold. Her father, the king, approached her with a weary gaze. "Stay close, my daughter. The council has spoken of dangers near the borders. The last thing we need is an incident today." "I understand, father," she replied, masking her frustration. "But must we always be bound by fear?" As the festivities continued, Lena's heart raced with anticipation. She excused herself, weaving through the throng of jubilant citizens, her fascination with the outside world calling her forth. With each step, shadows danced behind her, a reminder that danger was never far. In that moment of bliss, the heavens darkened unlike any sunset she had known. A monstrous ship blotted out the sun, surging down from the sky. The cheers turned to screams as the ship unleashed chaos. Aliens descended with ferocity, capturing attendees with ease, the air heavy with panic. Lena's heart raced. She knew she had to act. As she darted back towards the palace, a hulking figure loomed in her path. The evil Zarok warriors, grotesque forms encased in armor, swept toward her. "You will make a fine prize," one growled, extending a clawed hand. Lena summoned her courage, but before she could scream, she was enveloped in darkness, the world spinning away from her grasp. The last thing she saw was the helplessness of her people as she was whisked away to an uncertain fate. Lena awoke in a cold, damp chamber aboard the Zarok ship, her head throbbing and heart racing. The air was stale and harsh metal surrounded her like a prison. Panic surged within her as she attempted to rise, only to find herself bound by cruel restraints. She struggled, straining against the bindings, but fear and anger merged into a whirlwind of emotions. The door slid open with a menacing grating sound, and heavy footsteps echoed through the darkened room. A figure emerged, their alien form twisted and menacing. Its skin shimmered with an oily sheen, and its eyes glowed with malicious intent. "Welcome, princess," it hissed, reveling in its triumph. "You are now a prized possession of the Zarok." "What do you want? Let me go," she demanded, defiance igniting her spirits. The creature leaned closer, its face inches from hers. "You will serve us. Your beauty and power will make us unstoppable against your puny realm." Lena's heart raced, but beneath the fear her mind began to formulate a plan. She needed to remain calm, needed to find a way out. Closing her eyes, she concentrated on her surroundings, seeking any details that could aid her escape. Days turned into weeks as she endured the grueling captivity, haunted by the knowledge of her people's suffering. She was shuttled between different cells, always under constant guard. During this time, she encountered her captors, brutish alien soldiers who took perverse pleasure in threatening her. Their mockery only fueled her determination to escape. Amidst the despair, she discovered that information could be her ally. Observing the guards, she learned their routines and vulnerabilities. In one fleeting moment, a guard spoke of a rebellion brewing against the Zarok. Hope stirred within her. She couldn't afford to remain a silent victim. She had to harness her strength and leverage their plight. Each moment of isolation became a lesson in resilience. She would not be defined by her captivity. Through whispered defiance and unwavering resolve, Princess Lena vowed to fight back, to reclaim her freedom, and bring her people home. Meanwhile, on the fringes of the galaxy, two bounty hunters were gathered in a dimly lit cantina, the raucous laughter and clinking of glasses merely background noise to their intense conversation. Rylan, a rugged man with a rugged exterior, leaned forward, his eyes narrowed. "We can't take this one, Zira. The Zarok are unpredictable, and this could end badly." Zira, a sharp-witted woman with an infectious charm, smirked as she swirled her drink. "You have to admit, Rylan, the payout is too good to pass up. A royal bounty. Think of the connections we could make." The two had a history, friends, partners, sometimes even lovers. Their relationship was intricately woven with a mix of banter and unspoken tension. Rylan was more pragmatic, grounded by realism, while Zira leaned towards spontaneity and adventure. Their dynamic kept them balanced, but it also fueled their arguments. In the midst of their heated debate, a holographic transmission flickered to life. The royal seal of Princess Lena's kingdom shimmered before them. "We desperately need help," her voice echoed, filled with urgency. "The evil Zarok have abducted me. Time is running out. We need those skilled enough to defy them, or else—" The transmission cut abruptly, leaving the two hunters in grim silence. Raylan's stoicism faltered for a moment as he shifted uncomfortably. "She's actually in trouble," he muttered. With a resolute sigh, Zira stood, a fiery glint in her eyes. "We have to help her, Rylan. This isn't just a job. It's a chance to do something bigger than ourselves." Rylan hesitated but saw the determination radiating from Zira's expression. He knew her well enough to realize her resolve was unyielding. "Fine," he relented, "but we need a solid plan. The Zarok have no honor, and they'll be expecting us." Their banter shifted into planning mode, crafting strategies and contingencies to face the threat of the Zarok. The hunters gathered their gear, equipping themselves with advanced technology, weapons, and stealth suits. As they prepped, anecdotes of missions past sparked laughter, cutting through their anxiety. "It's been a while since we've had a real challenge," Zira grinned, adjusting her combat armor. "Maybe this will remind you how thrilling it can be." Rylan shrugged off the comment with a wry smirk. "Maybe, but this time, we have something worth fighting for." The starship roared to life as they set course for the distant realm of Alanthar, the stakes of their mission clearer than ever. Not only was Lena's life at risk, but they had to confront their own emotions simmering beneath the surface, complicating their shared purpose. As the bounty hunters approached the Zarok ship, hidden in an asteroid field, tension crackled in the air. "We'll need to utilize the asteroid belt for cover," Raylan murmured, eyes scanning the chaotic mass of rock and debris outside the cockpit. "Stealth is essential," Zira nodded, her heart racing with excitement. "Stay low and keep the ship's sensors on alert. Let's find out where they're holding Lena." Once they safely docked, Rylan and Zira donned their sleek, darkened suits, designed for stealth and agility. Every part of their attire was practical, yet it clung to their forms with a certain allure that made their connection resonate further. With silent determination, they slipped out to explore the colossal ship, moving like shadows through its darkened corridors. Inside, intricate machinery hummed ominously while holographic embers flickered overhead. The atmosphere was thick with danger, yet the thrill of the mission reverberated through them. "All right, let's find the control room first. If we can tap into their comm system, we might pinpoint Lena's location," Rylan whispered. As they navigated deeper, they encountered an array of alien soldiers. Zira expertly deflected attention from the guards, her stealth movements fluid and confident. Their banter remained playful, punctuating serious moments with light-hearted quips. "I'll distract them. You get us into the system," Zira proposed, slipping into a nearby ventilation shaft, a place where her petite frame would give her an edge. "Careful, Rogue," Raylan teased, his heart creeping toward his throat as he watched her disappear. "This is not a game." Navigating through the shafts, Zira observed guards exchanging hushed conversations about Lena's status. "Mighty princess or not, she'll break," one sneered. The words ignited a flame in Zira's core. They would pay for their arrogance. Meanwhile, Rylan used this time to breach security systems. He accessed displays, marking the locations of key personnel with a steady hand. Each moment felt like tantalizing suspense hung in the air. They were close, but with every moment spent, the risk of capture loomed heavier. In a narrow corridor, Zira stealthily emerged, her movements calculated. She ran into Rylan, their gazes locking for a heartbeat that stretched into eternity. "I found her." "Where?" Raylan asked. heart racing even faster now. "Hold on, I'll guide you." Zira relayed her findings, leading Relan through the ship's maze toward the princess's cell. With stealth cloaking their movements, the pair finally reached the prison block. Just as they approached, they caught sight of Lena through bars, her spirit unbroken yet eyes filled with worry. Fierce determination still burned in her gaze. "Princess?" Zira whispered urgently, heart swelling at the sight of her. The moment was laden with promise. The rescue was about to unfold. As the door slid open, revealing the bound princess, Rylan and Zira exchanged glances. "Let's get her out of here," Rylan urged, his voice low. They had stepped through so many layers of danger, and now they were finally inches away from that which would change everything, their fate entwined with Lena's. "Princess Lena, we're here to rescue you," Zira announced as she knelt beside the cell, quickly assessing the ceramite bar system. "Stand back, we'll get you out." Lena, observing the bounty hunters with a mix of relief and curiosity, nodded. "You came for me? I can't believe it." Slowly, she rose, her strength evident even in her restraints. Zira focused on disabling the mechanism, her nimble fingers working deftly. "Of course. We don't leave anyone behind. We're a team." Rylan stepped forward, feeling an inexplicable pull towards the princess's fierce determination. He admired her bravery. "We need to move fast. Can you walk?" he asked, concern lacing his tone. "Absolutely," Lena replied, her posture strong and regal even under duress. "But we must hurry. The guards will be back soon." With a soft click, Zira released the bindings, and Lena stepped forward, heat coursing through her veins. "Thank you," she breathed, heart pulsing with gratitude. As they began making their way down the corridor, their united front sparked a bond between them. Lena's presence invigorated the bounty hunters, drawing them into the warmth of her bravery. They exchanged stories and shared laughter, all the while attempting to stave off danger lurking in the shadows. "What skill do you possess that makes you think you can save a princess?" Lena teased Rylan, a glint in her eyes that matched the sparks of danger around them. He smirked. "I could say the same for you, princess. Who knew you had the heart of a warrior?" As they navigated the winding ship, tensions simmered beneath the surface. Lena recognized the chemistry flaring between her and the charming bounty hunter. His witty remarks drew laughter from her, igniting warmth that threaded between them. "Can you fight? I want to contribute. These creatures won't take me without a fight," Lena declared, eyes fierce with passion. Zira smirked. "That's the spirit. I like her already." Lena felt emboldened, exhilaration coursing through her at their approval. As their camaraderie grew amidst danger, they emerged into the chambers filled with captives and soldiers, ready to confront the guards. Together, they devised a plan to reclaim their freedom, combining their strengths, aligning passions, and renewing the fire of rebellion. With each passing moment, trust blossomed, along with unspoken feelings as they prepared to face the formidable power of the Zarok together. The combined heart of three unlikely allies surged with the promise of victory, and perhaps something more intricate weaving a tapestry of unknown futures. The trio paused at a large metallic door leading to the command center, their hearts pounding with anticipation. The air chilled their skins, but Lena felt an ember of hope ignite within her. "What's the best way to approach this?" she queried, turning to Rylan and Zira, her loyal comrades. Rylan glanced over the scans he had made. "We can create a distraction. If Zira can breach their system again, I can cause havoc with their security protocols. The rest will be chaos." "Agreed," Zira replied, her eyes sparkling with determination. "However, we must ensure the guards don't see us coming. We'll create a false alarm, drawing them away from here." Lena nodded, warming to the idea. "I can help. I have ideas about the layout of their systems and the guards' routines." As they crafted a plan, Lena found herself drawn not only to their resolve, but to the unspoken bond forming between them. Rylan, equally aware of the connection, tried to focus on the mission. Yet, during their discussions, the electricity in the air was palpable, with every glance feeling charged and exhilarating. Together, the trio worked through the intricacies of the plan, voices swirling in murmurs, plotting a tactical maneuver to turn the tides of their fate. They all leaned close, heads together, sharing tools and whispers, while their interactions turned into covert brushstrokes against their skin. When Grogans escaped the confines of the command center, the trio moved into position. Quietly, Lena observed Zira operate the panels, her fingers dancing across the screens with agility. "What's the plan if things go south?" Lena asked. "We'll improvise," Reland stated, eyes fierce. "But we won't let them take you again. We'll always find a way back to each other. Always." As the plan unfolded, the princess felt her heart racing with a blend of fear and exhilaration. She stood beside Rylan as they readied themselves for the distraction. She could sense his volatility bubbling beneath the surface. "Rylan," he glanced at her, intense, "you're not just a princess. You're a warrior. Believe in your strength. We all do." The moment hung between them, charged with unvoiced feelings. But soon there was no time for reflection, as Zira announced, "I'm ready, let's do this." In synchronized action, Zira triggered the alarms, creating a cacophony of confusion. The powerful sound echoed through the ship, sending vibrations through the walls. Guards rushed past in a flurry, something they had anticipated. "Let's go," Reland said, grabbing Lena's hand as they ventured deep into their enemy's heart. As they moved through shadows, their bond intensified like a well-forged blade. Lena felt excitement coursing through her veins, but she also felt an intense rippling fear for the unknown. Yet, her alliance, friendships, and feelings were becoming resolute. This was a fight worth engaging. They stealthily approached a control console, an opportunity to strike. Together, they prepared to rewrite the course of their fight, determined to reclaim freedom, not just for themselves, but for all those oppressed by the evil forces of the universe. Amidst the clamor of alarms and rushing feet, the trio raced against time, hearts pounding in sync with each other. As they reached the command center, they found a wall of metallic doors looming ahead like an unyielding sentinel. Zira's eyes sparkled with adrenaline. "We need to breach through this control panel. It's now or never." Reland positioned himself next to her, scanning their surroundings for threats. "We don't have much time. The guards will be back in any moment." Lena remained vigilant, her pulse quickening as she observed her companions working seamlessly together. She felt a strange sense of belonging among them. She resolved to protect them just as much as they aimed to protect her. Zira's fingers flew across the control panel, her mind racing as she navigated through the ship's security system. "I can open the doors, but expect heavy resistance. They won't let us leave quietly." "Then we won't go quietly," Reland replied with a determined grin. His resolve lit a fire in the princess's heart, galvanizing her spirit. "Just tell me where to strike," Lena urged, ready to fight alongside her newfound allies. She could sense that this was her moment to reclaim her agency. With a soft beep, Zira exclaimed, "Got it! The doors are opening!" Just as the heavy metallic panels slid apart, a group of Xerok warriors stormed in, their grotesque forms shadowing the doorway like grim harbingers of doom. "Prepare for battle," Raylan shouted as he drew his blaster and positioned himself in front of Lena and Zira to shield them. The sight of the terrifying creatures sent a chill down Lena's spine, yet the fire within her surged as she took a deep breath and focused. "Together!" Zira shouted, her voice cutting through the tension as she grabbed her weapon. The fight erupted into chaos. Ryland's blaster fired with precision, each shot finding its mark, while Zira moved like a shadow, outmaneuvering the alien guards. Lena instinctively joined them, drawing on her knowledge of combat from years spent training. Adrenaline flooded her veins as she charged into the fray, landing strikes alongside her seasoned companions. "You might think you can take me, but I won't be a pawn in your game." Lena hurled a nearby metal shard at a guard, catching him off guard. She stepped back, breathing heavily, but exhilaration wrapped around her like a blanket. Her confidence swelled as she thought of her people, fueling her resolve. Rylan noticed the fierce spark in her eyes, and he felt it too. Her indomitable spirit began to resonate even within him. "Keep fighting, Princess," Rylan shouted, firing at another incoming guard. "We're almost through." As they battled through the throng, they gradually pushed forward, pressing into the control area, where monitors displayed nightmarish scenes of captured rebels. Zira worked feverishly to deactivate the ship's security protocols, her fingers dancing over buttons and switches. "I can reroute their systems. Hold the line." The guards pressed closer, and Lena's heart raced, filled with the urgency of survival. "We can't let them take us back," she yelled, determination igniting her voice. With a fierce cry, she lunged forward, taking on a guard head-on, her body weaving through the chaos. Reelan and Zira followed closely behind, supporting her every move. Together, they fought tenaciously, forging a path through the darkness that had once constrained them. Finally, Zira announced triumphantly, "Done! The ship's systems are ours." With one final charge, Reelan delivered a powerful blow to the last guard, sending him sprawling to the floor. They stood panting and triumphant amidst the wreckage, the adrenaline surging through their veins. "We did it!" Zira exclaimed, laughter dancing on her lips. "Not yet," Reelan said, glancing at the monitors, filled with chaos. "We need to release the other captives." Lena shared a glance with her saviors, the urgency unspoken yet understood. "Yes, let's free them. This is just the beginning of our rebellion." They moved swiftly through the corridors, Zira taking control of security as they reached the captive cells. One by one, they freed fellow prisoners, forging a legion against their oppressors. The hope in Lena's heart surged as they exited the ship, the thrill of freedom coursing through her. She had taken back not just her life, but ignited a spark of rebellion, illuminating the path toward freedom for all. With the ship armed and ready for escape, they boarded their vessel, the three of them connected by shared trauma and newfound courage. They would confront the challenges ahead together, along with their unexpected feelings blossoming amidst chaos. The exhilaration of their escape was short-lived. As they launched into the void of space, alarms blared through the hallways, echoing their peril. The ship shuddered under the strain of pursuit. The Zarok would not let them go without a fight. "Prepare for battle," Rylan called, his voice steady even against the chaos surrounding them. "They'll follow us. We need to fight back." Lena felt a surge of adrenaline, a mix of fear and determination flooding her senses. She had fought hard to escape captivity, and she refused to watch as they were hunted down. "What can I do?" she asked, her eyes fierce. Zira threw her a weapon. "You're not just a princess anymore. Use it. We need every capable fighter." With a nod, Lena gripped the weapon, her resolve hardening. Together, they strategized quickly, Lena's newfound instincts kicking in as they determined their battle plan. Their ship flew through the stars, dodging tailing ships as they prepared to face the full force of the Zarok fleet. "Taking evasive maneuvers now," Reelan announced, tapping buttons frantically as he piloted their vessel. Zira worked to enhance their onboard systems, ensuring the ship remained intact, while Lena prepared for a flurry of incoming energy blasts. The Zarok ships lurked behind them, merciless and relentless, their sleek forms glinting ominously. Just as they barreled forward in an attempt to shake off the pursuers, an explosion rattled their ship, lighting a fire under them. Lena was thrust against a bulkhead, but she quickly regained her footing. "Status report," she demanded, her tone commanding despite the turmoil. "Shields are holding, but they won't last," Zira called back, her brows furrowed in concentration. "We need to return fire." Reelan positioned himself in the captain's chair. "Can you target their weapons systems, Zira? We've got to disable them before they do any more damage." "I'm on it," Zira shouted, furiously pushing buttons while Lena maneuvered closer to the front, her own instincts sharpening. Lena's heart raced as she prepared to stand alongside them, her weapon in hand. "I can cover you. Just keep us steady." She felt power surging within her. This moment was hers to seize. Together they executed evasive maneuvers, Lena exchanging fire with members of the Zarok crew. Her heart thundered with every pull of the trigger, her inherent grace echoing through her movements. She was no longer just a princess. She was a warrior, fighting for her freedom and the lives of her people. As they battled relentlessly, her eyes locked with Raylan's in a moment of resolve. There was no turning back. This was their fight, and each moment only strengthened her resolve. Then, in a flash, a Zarok cruiser emerged from the shadows, warping behind them without warning. It unleashed a barrage of shots, one of which struck their ship, sending them spiraling. "Brace for impact," Rylan yelled. But Lena's instincts kicked in. She dove toward the controls, adjusting the ship's trajectory just as another blast rang out. The crew was thrown to the side, but her quick thinking saved them from a catastrophic collision. "Nice move!" Zira shouted, her excitement palpable even amidst danger. "Keep firing back," Raylan replied, steadying the controls. "I need us back in the fight." With Lena's new sense of empowerment battling against their oppressors, they launched an assault of their own. Their shots rang true, taking down one of the smaller vessels. As they rocked between systems, the sound of explosions resounded, echoing their victory. But in the chaos, one ship veered closer, guns trained directly on them. "They're closing in," Zira exclaimed. "We can't shake them. We need to act fast." "Lena, get ready," Relan shouted, adrenaline rushing. "We're going to take this head on. Zira, you cover us." "On it!" Zira prepared her weapons, ready to rain havoc down upon the enemy. Lena gritted her teeth, ready for the fight of her life. She would not back down, would not falter. As they barreled into the fray, she felt forged in unbreakable resolve alongside her comrades. This was not just about reclaiming her life. It was about conquering the darkness that threatened those she loved. After their fierce and harrowing battle, the dust began to settle. The Zarok fleet had been crippled, their pursuit thwarted, and Lena, Rylan, and Zira found a moment of respite as they navigated their way back to Elanthar. The stars glimmered against a canvas of darkness, a stark contrast to the fear and anxiety of moments before. As they settled into the cockpit, Rylan let out a shaky breath, glancing at Lena. "You did incredible back there. All of us did." Lena felt warmth blossom in her chest. "I couldn't have done it without you both. Your strength helped me find my own." She looked out at the stars, lost in contemplation. "This journey has made me realize I am more than just a princess." Zira grinned, leaning back casually in her seat. "You are a force to be reckoned with. The rebellion will know your name." Yet beneath the satisfaction of victory rolled the uncertainty of their impending return. As the familiar landscape of Elanthar emerged into view, Lena's heart twisted with conflicting emotions. Would her people accept her after everything that had transpired? Would they understand that she wasn't merely a princess doomed to sit on a throne? As they descended into the palace grounds, Zira broke the silence. "Let's go show them the princess isn't as fragile as they think." The determination in her voice resonated with Lena like a battle cry. Upon landing, they were met with a cacophony of cheers and relieved gasps as kingdom guards and loyal subjects flocked toward the landing site. The euphoria of the atmosphere surged through Lena, conflicting against the challenge of returning from her experience in captivity. "Princess Lena!" a voice cried out from the crowd. Her father stepped forward, his eyes glistening with tears of relief. The emotions hit her in waves as he enveloped her in a fierce embrace. "I feared I'd lost you forever." "I'm back," she whispered, holding on to the warmth of his arms, emotion flooding her. "And I won't let anyone silence us again." As she turned back to Rylan and Zira, her heart swelled with appreciation. "You both saved me. Together we did what many thought impossible." Rylan nodded, genuine admiration etched across his features. "We fought as equals. We're more than allies now." As the cheers of gratitude surrounded them, Lena spoke to the crowd, her voice rising with newfound authority. "There is much to discuss. We've faced darkness, but together we can build a brighter future for all. No one should ever live in fear." The crowd erupted in applause, echoing her sentiments as she climbed the steps to the palace, hand in hand with her newfound comrades. Each step reinforced her resolve, the bastion of unity thrumming against the pulse of their shared destiny. As the festivities continued, Lena's heart fluttered at the sight of her people rallying around their cause, fighting the shadows together. But amidst the chatter, her gaze lingered on Rylan, his presence igniting a spark within her, raising questions about the emotional ties created through shared tribulation. They exchanged glances that crackled with unspoken energy, underscoring the intensity of their connection. Zira's teasing grin only served to amplify this, igniting laughter among the trio as they caught on to their chemistry. Despite the celebration, an undeniable challenge lay ahead, units of change that would ripple through their relationships. But Lena was ready to meet it, embracing all that was to come with open arms. The days following the rescue were a whirlwind. Lena plunged into her responsibilities as a leader, rallying her people and discussing strategies to mend the shattered pieces of their world. She held countless meetings with advisors and military leaders, ensuring they stood united against future threats. Reelan and Zira remained by her side, becoming invaluable assets to her rule. With their combined strength, they forged alliances and restructured defenses against the lurking dangers of the galaxy. An unwavering bond blossomed, fortified through shared experiences and the challenges they faced together. Yet, amidst the whirlwind of planning and restoration, Lena grappled with her own feelings. Each night as she resumed her royal duties, she felt the tugging desire to explore the burgeoning connection between herself and Reelan. The tension between them simmered with unspoken words and lingering touches, the chemistry undeniable yet complex. One evening, after a long day of negotiations, she invited Rylan to join her in the garden. Surrounded by the soothing scents of blossoms, the tranquility filled their souls, a moment of peace amidst turmoil. The moon hung low, casting a soft glow around them. "Thank you for being here," Lena said, her voice a soft melody. "You've changed everything for me." "You've changed everything, Princess," Rylan replied, his tone earnest. "You showed me that you're more than what anyone else thought. You're a leader, and you've got the heart to prove it." As the silence stretched between them, she felt the breath of anticipation enveloping them. Lena summoned courage, stepping toward him. "What we've experienced, it binds us. And I feel something more." Rylan's gaze held hers steadily, emotions laying bare. "I feel it too." The moment hung, rippling with intensity and electric anticipation as their hands brushed together. "Then let's explore this together," she whispered, inching closer. But before they could bridge the distance, a commotion in the distance disrupted the moment. Zira rushed toward them, interruption punctuating the air. "The kingdom united, Princess. Together we face whatever comes next." As they returned, hand in hand yet unfulfilled, Lena felt a sense of hope. She realized this complexity of relationships and alliances was the heart of their journey. This connection she formed with Rylan, her ally, protector, and something deep, was blossoming into love. With Zira at their side and the kingdom behind them, they prepared to face the dawn of a new era. Together, they would rise against adversities, shattering the darkness threatening their lives. The bonds created in chaos shimmered brighter than before, guiding them into an incredible future, filled with promise, adventure, and love. With brightly shining hearts, they took their first steps toward the unknown, together forging the path ahead in unity and strength.